you're a kid who grew up in the early 2000s, I'm sure that gave you a knee-jerk reminder of the times long past, when you weren't depressed and still possessing childhood whimsy and joy. Developed by the Adobe Flash program, Flash games were indie games played on the browser. No need for absolutely incinerating your hard drives with massive downloads or stealing your mom's credit card for purchasing games. Boot up the old Internet Explorer and you are good to go.
Even better, the websites where they were found contained a catalog of thousands of games. It was like accessing a library, except the books were filled with code and mediocre art.
Not to mention the multitude of websites where you can find these games. Newgrounds, Congregate, Kizzy, Friv, and the beloved Cool Math games. If you got bored with a game, you would simply go to the next. It was an all-you-can-eat, and you best believe we were eating good. Take a game like Papa's Burgeria, where you simulate having a minimum wage job.
Yeah, as a kid we dreamt of two things. Being a policeman, and of course flipping burgers.
The Papa Louie empire has a chokehold on the entire virtual fast food industry. You could spec into 14 different jobs at the bottom of the corporate ladder, running a freezeria, a pizzeria, a wingeria, all of which were games in this franchise.
Either choose to navigate the hospitality process and achieve 5-star ratings with your meticulously constructed food, or produce absolute monstrosities that would send the Department of Health breaking down your doors.
Flash games like the Papa's franchise transformed an average aspect of life into a creative frenzy for children to enjoy. Combining a sense of completion through unlocking new customers, maximizing tips, and shifting through the cooking stages while keeping an eye on another order made for a hectic but satisfying gameplay loop. Run really tested a kid's determination, brainpower, and mechanical skill. The unique mechanic of Run was being able to change the gravity by running on walls, putting quick thinking and reaction to use until you eventually mastered the level. But for whatever reason, if you were a gamey mechanical messiah, you could challenge yourself by equipping ice skates and increasing the pace of the game.
Otherwise you would fall and fall again until you knew the level like the back of your hand, or you would rage quit and curse the developers forever. Run satisfied the child's drive for challenge and the unfathomable amount of clout for being the best in the classroom.
Even though we had access to great games like Minecraft and Roblox, we would always go back to Flash games. Let's be honest, looking back, Flash games don't have the in-depth mechanics, graphic fidelity, or coherent plotlines present in the games we play today.
But when you look at this stupid duck that you spent days nurturing for the duck racing championships, you just can't help but to feel a deep sense of sentimental longing for the days when you were eating glue and sniffing markers.
The sense of nostalgia is what makes Flash games so resonant with our childhood memories. Playing Fireball or Water Girl with your mates at school, 1v1ing your siblings at home on Tank Trouble, or watching your favorite YouTubers play Happy Wheels.
These are canon events in our generation of 2000s kids that we reminisce on till this day.
Flash games were a part of our childhood, whose nostalgic value reminds us of a childhood lost to time.
Looking at the world now, I feel bad for these new gen iPad kids who will be growing up on Skibidi Toilet and Cocomelon instead of Bob the Robber. Despite their 1990s and early 2000s appeal, some Flash games actually made it out of the hood of low-budget passion projects into fully fledged games and series that we play today. I'm sure everyone is well aware of the Bloons Tower Defense series, where you traffic and command an army of monkeys in a generational beef against invading balloons. Before there were death ray laser beams and transcendent monkey sun god temples, there was this guy.
Ninja Kiwi were able to take a completely random game concept and evolve it into a multi-million-dollar title. Now with 6 games released, the BTD franchise is one of the most notable examples of Flash game success. A major dev of the Newground scene was The Behemoth, whose beloved game, Alien Hominid, paved the way for the modern hits of Castle Crushers and Battle Block Theater, all complete with an instantly recognizable style, witty writing, and visual gags.
Henry Stickmin, another beloved series of choose-your-own-adventure games developed by Innersloth, where you take the titular Henry on all sorts of wacky heists and adventures, where the comedic choices have become cultural inside jokes. They've gone on with their success to create, well, and single-handedly spawn an infamous era of streaming, memes, and musicals.
Streaming.
Flash games are now a relic of the past. They were a part of a different internet age. Information was found on individual forums rather than ChatGPT. There was a real sense of self-built online communities, and the sharing of indie passions and ideas where you look back fondly on those days and think, wow, those really were the golden days.
It's clear to say that the monetization and corporatization of the internet as a result of the pocket change of aliens and lizards who live amongst mankind leads us into an age where the self-expressive online experience that we all used to know and love is abandoned.
Nowadays, it's rare to see people play Flash games. With the evolution of video game making technology, the modern audience demands a higher quality gaming experience. In today's age of beloved indie titles, we'd much prefer seeing something like this, rather than this. Additionally, with the rise of mobile games and a complete shift into a new digital era of corporate control, Flash games slowly faded away into memory. But for our generation, they were a definitive part of our childhood, kickstarting our love, appreciation, and crippling addiction to video games.
With all of that, your memory should be restored.
Do you remember now?